What are the top 10 reasons why the SBA, Small Business Administration, is sweet on small business? An interesting topic of discussion a day or two before Valentine's Day. But before we actually get into that discussion, I wanted to share with you one of the major goals and objectives of the SmallBizDavid Foundation. We are going to do daily Google Hangouts, and made the decision to do that a couple weeks ago when very suddenly, I think it was about 3 weeks ago tomorrow, I was doing my very last video streaming, internet online streaming, at a website called sba.gov. I'd been doing it for 4 years, and in that 4 years had over 2.5 million page views on my small business information and information about starting a business. And unbeknownst to me, one day, a couple weeks ago, I was doing my very last broadcast and got an email after I was concluded that later that evening at midnight the website was going to close down after 7 years. And so I said, geez, there has to be a way for me to do real-time live online streaming. And of course, the first thing that came to mind was Google Hangouts. So we're going to start doing them. I've done a few, just testing the idea, testing the popularity. Done a few of them in the last couple weeks, and we're going to get into a regular daily Google Hangout. For now, it's going to be at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was the same time that I did my live video streaming. And we're going to take a little different approach to it in terms of the content. Whereas we will always be talking about something small business, there will be particular focus on starting a 2013 small business to tie in with the YouTube video ebook that I am currently in the process of publishing. But we're going to have days of the week where certain topics will be the preferred topic of discussion, but if you come into a hangout with a question about anything, that'll be okay too. I will have theme days though. On Mondays, we'll be talking about your 2013 small business strategy. On Tuesdays, we'll be talking about your 2013 social marketing and small businesses. Social marketing is something that I have been doing for over 40 years, and it is particularly interesting as we are into 2013 and all the dynamics at play. Wednesdays, we'll be talking about your social network technology. I differentiate between the two, social marketing, social network technology. Social marketing has not changed at all in the 40 years that I have been doing it, sharing experiences, working with small businesses. What has changed, though, is the social network technology, which changes sometimes on a daily basis. We live in a society where community is very, very important. Hence David's Barter community, a community of small businesses and folks wanting to start small businesses. Facebook, the most unbelievable community ever built, maybe ever will be built. and over 1 billion people participating in that community in a short 8 years. Just phenomenal. LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever that community might be. We have a tendency to gravitate towards community because there are folks in that community with like interests. So we have to understand the social network technology, which basically is how do we communicate with one another in those communities. That will be our Wednesday discussion theme. Thursdays, small business money matters. Money, of course, does matter. Cash flow is king. How do you borrow money? Do you need to borrow money? Should you borrow money? What are available sources of outside investment? Those are topics that we will discuss on Thursdays. And right now, this time of year, it's very appropriate because we are now thinking about our taxes. What happened in 2012? How do we best communicate with the Internal Revenue Service about what happened in 2012? And then what are strategies that we need to think about as we move forward in 2013? I should mention that we will be using this book, Small Business Taxes, as a centerpiece, a discussion written by a friend of mine, Barbara Weltman. This is now the 15th year Barbara has worked with J.K. Lasser in publishing this book, and there is no better printed book to talk about taxes and how small businesses should deal with taxes than what Barbara does every year. And with new technologies, she is constantly updating what the book does. I mean, I bought the book, I think, in November, and obviously there have been new tax guidelines put in place, new tax guidelines announced. Perhaps the most significant one of all times for small business is the fact that now small businesses beginning in 2013 can take a standard deduction of up to $1,500 for an office that you have in your home. Before, it was a very cumbersome process to understand what percentage of total space was taken in your home, and it was very, very complicated. But now, very smartly, after all these years, the IRS has said that an individual small business operating in a home can take up to $5 a square foot, up to $1,500. So that means you can take 300 square feet in your home and take the $5 standard deduction and deduct $1,500. The most significant thing ever done, I think, in terms of small business and really reflecting the needs and interests of small business, because small businesses start in homes. Many businesses never leave the home. I have never rented office space in my 40-plus years as a small business owner. I rented 2 houses one time, but one I lived in and one we needed an entire house to publish a magazine. They were side by side. Downtown Canton, Ohio. Okay, that'll happen. Small Business Money Matters on Thursday. Then Fridays we will use as a catch-all, miscellaneous, whatever you want to talk about. And what's going to happen with a Google Hangout? You will email me. The easiest way to do that is to go to smallbizdavidfoundation.org. On the right-hand side of the home page, there's a red box. If you fill that red box in, there's 4 fields of information, nothing private, and send it to me. It will come to me directly. I'll be able to answer whatever message you have, but also it will give me your email address, so that I can then put that into a database and invite you to our Google Hangouts that we're going to be doing on a daily basis, to keep you informed, to tell you what we're going to be talking about. And space is limited. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I know right now there is 12 spots available, with mine being one of the 12, so 11 spots available outside of my own. And maybe we'll be able to expand that as more people want to get involved. So I wanted to tell you about Google+ Hangouts. Very, very important to our marketing strategy. Very, very important to interact with you to get information out about small business, about starting a business. Okay, let's talk about the 10 reasons why the SBA, Small Business Administration, is sweet on small business. This was taken from their website, sba.gov/community. I'll put a link to this in my description, my YouTube description. Here's 10 reasons. Between 1993 and 2011, small firms accounted for 64% of the net new jobs created in the United States. Let's talk about this for a quick moment. Right now, last month, the month of January, there were 157,000 new jobs created. That's a great thing. It's the highest month that it's been in several years. The problem is it's not enough new jobs. 3 years ago, the Kauffman Foundation from Kansas City very clearly told us in their research that 300,000 jobs needed to be created every single month for a period of 36 months, 3 years, so that we would get back to some sense of normalcy. We're only halfway there, and we're going to achieve the rest of the new job creation with new businesses being started. Very, very clearly, that's the only way it's going to happen. Small businesses are not going to be hiring back as quickly as they laid off. Why? The cost to create a new job for them versus what it used to cost them to create a new job. And number two, when they laid off folks from their businesses, they found new productivities in their small businesses. They were getting the same or more from less folks. They're not going to be so quick to hire new folks with increased productivities. New businesses must be started now. Number two, small businesses comprise 98% of America's exporters. And produce 33% of all export value. Number three, small businesses create more than 46% of the American non-farm private gross domestic product, or the GDP as we call it. Number four, small businesses create 43% of all high-tech unemployment. I find that number to be interesting low. I thought it would be a higher number than that. Number five, home-based businesses account for 52% of all small businesses. Number six, more than 7.8 million businesses are owned by women. Actually, the highest percentage of new businesses being started are indeed being started by women. Number seven, veterans also own more than 3.7 million small businesses and are at least 45% more likely to be self-employed in the private sector workforce than those with no active duty military experience. Small businesses received over, this is number eight, small businesses received over $90 billion in federal contracts. $90 billion in federal contracts in fiscal 2011. Number nine, small, high patenting firms produce 16 times more patents per employee than large patenting firms. The concept of patenting is extremely important to small business, and we see why it is. And number 10, with approximately 28 million small businesses in the United States, employing 60 million Americans, small businesses employ half of the private sector workforce. No wonder the SBA is so sweet on small businesses. Okay, let me know. Send me an email. Either go to SmallBizDavidFoundation.org and fill out the 4 fields in the red box on the right-hand side, or if you would prefer, you can send me an email, smallbizdavid@davidsbarter.com, and also when you go to smallbizdavidfoundation.org, at the very top of the page, there's a toll-free phone number. You can also call, and I doubt that it'll be answered, but a voicemail will certainly capture your phone call. That's another way to let me know that you want to be a part of our Google+ Hangouts. Thank you for your time today, and we'll see you soon.